Hi everyone, my name is Pinky. Wait, what? It's Pink Piggy. Anyway, so I remember that some of you asked about how I turned my traditional drawing in sketches into digital files, digital drawings. So here's how I do it. So of course the drawings are in sketches with pencil and papers, and after that I use my phone to take the pictures and crop it out in the phone as well, and then just transfer all the data into your computer and put it in a file, name it by numbers and etc. And here's how I edit it on Paint Tool side. So I use Paint Tool side to color my pages, and I have it all here. Before I do that, I just for the coloring, I use the filter and change the brightness, the contrast, so that the line will stand out a bit more clear. So you change it like this, and you can see that line is already darker. Alright, so that's pretty good. So the next thing is pretty tricky because in Paint Tool size, you don't have the tool for the brush to go in darken mode, which will make things a lot easier, and you don't have to be afraid of ruining the lines. But there's another way to do that with Paint Tool size. So you select another layer and you choose multiply mode, and from now you use a color that would appeal to it nicely. So this is a scene in a bar shop, and I really want to use the warm brown tone, maybe a bit of blue or green in the back, but we'll get to that later. The tricky things with using multiply in this tool is that it's the color is going to be a lot darker than it should be. Filming this with my phone, so the color is not really correct as I see it on computer, but if you have the file, then you can see what I mean. So we're selecting a pretty light tone right here. It's kind of like peach or something, or like orange peach, and I use that to color the skin. So basically you can see that the color is already darker. You can see that. So here's the tone that I choose, and here's how it goes on the file. You can see that it's because you used the multiply tool for it. It already got like a tone darker than usual. So, and you can change the level of darkness with that by changing the opacity of the second layer that you're using to do the coloring, and that's basically it. After that, you can use also another layer with overlay effects here, and it basically will allow you to create really a bright spot, or just to highlight the skin or whatever it is you want to highlight. And there will be some adjustments with the tone that you're using. This one is only black and white, so it would be pretty easy to use. But if usually for some scenes like dark sky, or like the night sky, like in chapter 2 or something, I have to use a complete layer of green or blue, dark blue, and set it for multiply mode. It will have a different effects if you're using overlay with other colors. It just doesn't get any warmer because you already have a layer of blue, of cool colors that's multiplied on it. So that's basically how you do this coloring tutorial. This is just a very short tutorial, and I don't think it is the best tool that you can go for, but my computer is trash and it just lag terribly if I use Photoshop. Things will be easier if you have a strong enough computer and you can just run Photoshop on a photo like this. Mind you, I use Foodie to take pictures of my photos, so they appear to be very large files, something like between 4,000 and 5,000 pixels. With I think it's about 72 dpi, so just a measurement of how big these files are. And when you put it on Photoshop, it just lags, like it moves ever so slightly, and it takes a few seconds to just to move a little bit. So that's why I don't use Photoshop for these process. And even with typing, I also use this one right here to for the font, which is why it appears like that. I didn't intend to use fonts from the beginning, but my handwriting, someone has commented that it is too hard to see, which is why I have to do that with Paint Tool and just edit everything. And that's basically the reason why each chapter takes so long, especially for chapters that I have to color the whole thing, like this chapter 2, this chapter right here. Everything has to be in like a darker colors, and it has to be fully colored, and it takes so much time to edit everything. So well, yeah, there you go. So this is basically a coloring tutorial on the Paint Tool side. This would be pretty convenient, but I would suggest you to well, the way I do it is that I initially have some shading with pencil, and it does save some time because you kind of know where the light comes from, or the perspective of you know, the angle of the light, that sort of thing. So you don't have to think about it too hard when you start coloring. But you should probably think about a color palette that you want to use for the chapters, or the comic, or the picture that you want to use. Usually I would advise you to go to maximum 3. It will be best, and not to confuse your eyes too much. I did try to use like up to 5 or 6 colors in a painting, and it's just too hard to see. So if you do use up to that, it probably is just for patterns or decoration, but not for the main tone of the painting. Yeah. Okay, so I hope that this tutorial has been useful. The new chapter is going to come up soon, and will be posted on Patreon, and after that, Instagram and Tumblr. And when the story is done, I will focus on drawing a new comic of my own, and maybe other art projects. Thank you so much for watching.